Hello everyone, my name is Michael, and in this video I want to show you how to start growing edible flowers indoors, including the types of flowers, ways to grow them, some things I do differently, as well as how to price them. Give this video a like if it provides you value, and let's get started. So we are in my new custom grow room that I recently built in this video. Be sure to check that out if you want to build something like this. You don't need to set up anywhere near this. If you have a decent light and some good airflow, you're going to be able to grow some awesome flowers. I did a ton of research on the best types of flowers, ways you can grow them. I looked at a lot of other different edible flower farms, and what I'm about to share with you is the culmination of all that research as well as putting it into practice. I chose to grow in these 6 by 7 by 14 inch planters, and that was a great idea. I've seen setups with planters larger than this. I've seen setups with one smaller. Now these I think were the perfect size. First, because they're not too big that I can't easily pick them up, move, maneuver them, give me ease of access for harvesting. The second reason is that they're not so small that you can't fit a lot of flowers in them though. I actually chose to only grow one variety in each planter, and I think this turned out very well. Now I've chosen to grow violas and pansies. These two types of edible flowers are perfect. The first reason why is because they come in a lot of different beautiful complementary colors. Edible flowers are used to create gorgeous plates of food, and any chef or culinary artist having more colors at their disposal gives them more possibilities on the types of plates they can create. The second reason why these two are great is because they come in different average sizes. Pansies and violas look very similar. Pansies were actually developed in the 19th century by crossbreeding with violas. The violas are a smaller bloom, whereas the pansies are a larger bloom. You can find edible flowers on salads, on soups, on pastas, even on cakes. I've seen some gorgeous creations. And so to have different colors, different sizes, all helps make that possible for the restaurants and chefs that I'm selling to. And lastly, violas and pansies, compared to many other flower types, have a sweeter and nutty flavor. Seeing that these are going to be eaten, a flower that had a better taste was something I was looking for, and I have found it in these two varieties. And for two quick bonus facts, they also smell incredible. I was not expecting how great it would smell in this room. Every time I come in here, I just enjoy it. I soak it up. It smells amazing in here. And it's good to know that pansies and violas are rich in vitamins A and C and have a lot of antioxidants. Okay, now let's cover how I actually grew them. The long story short is that I filled up the planters with some great potting mix. I gave them a good saturation with water, and then I started applying the seeds. The seeds are planted right on top and just gently pushed in. Now, violas and pansies have a recommended seeding density and spacing. I followed those instructions for this, and I have to say, I think it's a little too dense. I can tell it's overcrowded because many of the flowers are growing into each other, causing them to fold or bend or even dry up and fall off. That's not what we want to see. So despite the recommended amounts, I'm actually going to decrease my seeding density and increase my spacing going forward. Now, pansies and violas want light during germination, so after seeding them, I put them up on the rack under some Barina T5 grow lights. This variety will take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to germinate, and so every day I would just come and make sure the medium was saturated until they began to produce leaves. And once they produce leaves, I put them under the larger grow light. And this is a Besfa BP Pro 4000. Now, pansies and violas do want a bunch of light, but they prefer slightly shaded areas. So this light is actually adjustable. It can pull up to 400 watts, and I've had it running at around 25% the whole time. So in other words, you don't have to blast these flowers with light. You can have even a weak light. They may take a little bit longer to grow, but that's gonna be better because then you're gonna have these nice, rich in color blooms that aren't getting shriveled or drying out because they're being overpowered with light. Now, in regards to watering and fertilizer, I do purify my water through 5-stage reverse osmosis. I'm sure that regular tap would work okay. However, I am using an organic indoor houseplant fertilizer. So I looked at a bunch of indoor organic fertilizers, and a lot of them had bad reviews, mainly for the smell, and I found this one, which has been awesome. It's by a company called Foop Organic Biosciences, and this actually has like a minty smell. It's completely organic, and as you can see, it has worked very well in helping produce more and richer blooms. So for harvesting, it's pretty simple. You're taking a basic pair of clippers and you're chopping all the way at the top of the stem, just at the base of the bloom. Just that top bloom area that we want to cut off and use. And as you probably already know, flowers will produce more blooms. They will keep growing. So it's good to stay on top of chopping them. Hopefully you're obviously selling them, but the more that you can prune it and get old ones out will create the room for new ones to come in. All right, now let's talk about how to price your edible flowers. Now, I've only seen 2 ways of pricing edible flowers. The first is by the weight, and the second is by the number of blooms. And the truth is, I think that's the best way to charge for edible flowers. The main reason is because these, again, are going to be eaten and used by chefs and restaurants and culinary Instagrammers. And when they have a direct number of how many blooms they are going to receive, that's going to help them in knowing what they can create with that number, whether that's by the plate or by the pastry. And a general idea of how you should price them is between $7 to $12 for every 25 blooms. And a few things to say regarding that: you can decide where in that range you should price based on a number of things. For example, any special varieties, any very unique flowers or colors, all the way to your cost for energy, for packaging, for delivering, and etc. But generally speaking, that's what you're gonna find. You're selling for essentially just under 50 cents a bloom, and I'll be selling them in basic clear clamshells. The clamshells are nice because they have a lot of space, so it allows the flower to retain their shape. Also, being clear, it's sort of nice, it looks pretty being handed a clamshell of flower blooms. And I plan on selling in packs of 10, 25, and 50. And that does it. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in the next one.